Hola.
Hi there.
This is Karen.
And this is Chris. And we are Dirty Laundry.
So, what's today's topic?
Okay, we're going to talk about two things. First one, I think we had a question from a friend, and she wanted to know how we defined love.
How do you define love?
I don't think you can. I think everybody has a different definition of love.
Yeah.
So, you can't just give it one meaning, I don't think. Personally, how about you?
I really thought about it a lot, and I think that there are no words to really describe what love is. My thought is that what isn't love. I know what love isn't, but love doesn't really have a boundary, and love is in the eye of the beholder.
I thought that was lust is in the eye of...
No, it's beauty.
Oh,
see, you're one-track mind woman.
I got a couple of different definitions from Urban Dictionary, which I loved. It cracks me up. And one of them was, or is, now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. It's nature's way of tricking people into reproducing. I love that one. And this one's kind of cool. It's lust is the desire for their body, and love is the desire for their soul. I think that's beautiful.
Nobody can have my soul.
That's a desire.
The devil.
That's right. But it's a desire.
Well, I think that to love, there's the love of for your children, which until I had my children, I had no idea how much I could love.
Right.
That love is beyond, like if a train's coming and you know that you have to be run over by a train, you're going to lay down in the tracks and do it.
Right.
And I think in some relationships, people feel like that about each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you could
I feel that way about my dog. I didn't know I could love a dog so much.
I love my plants.
The dictionary, the regular traditional dictionary, defines love as an intense feeling of deep affection.
Well, that's really bad.
I know.
Shitty.
I liked Urban Dictionary.
One was that?
That's from, traditional Webster Dictionary.
Yeah.
That's why I said the Urban Dictionary is more fun.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just a really hard question. No, I don't think you're going to get two people to agree, maybe partially agree what it is, that it's an intense emotion and all that. But no, your love is different for every person, everything, every partner.
I know that I can feel love for a stranger, and it's weird. Like I can just have met them, and I just feel this in love. Not like I want to jump their bones or anything like that. I just feel love.
Is that love or compassion?
No, I feel love.
Okay.
Because I don't even have to. They might have just said hello or whatever, but it's this feeling like you're filled with something, kind of like an inward balloon.
Oh my God. Okay, then let's move on.
No, wait a minute. So I wrote a couple of things down.
Okay.
So, staying in a marriage because of the kids, is that love?
No.
Okay, but some people would say it is. But when you're in a marriage that you're not happy together, you can still be in love, or you can still love that person, but you know that for whatever reason you have come to a place in your life where it just isn't working. But a lot of people will stay in their relationships because they want to wait until the kids grow up. But I ask, so what is that teaching your children? Because if you're pretending that your marriage is good for the sake of the children, then you're teaching them how to lie. And you're teaching them how do I say this? They will learn how to lie in a relationship based on what they have seen.
Well, and then that goes to the thing that we're going to discuss in a minute is love enough? That's where that goes, is what you're talking about.
Right. And that is, I do want to go there, but
yeah, no, I want you to finish what you're going to, but that is, it's perfect because that's where that's going.
And that is one of the things that I've often thought about, because people do stay in relationships for the wrong reasons. And their children never really learn how to have a good relationship that's based on honesty and honesty within their self. Because if you're doing something for the wrong reason, or you're staying with somebody for the wrong reason, you're wasting your life.
Right. But I think a lot of people that you're talking about it in that example might define love as devotion or sacrifice.
Yeah.
That might be their definition of what love is. That, I made this commitment and I'm gonna
stick by it.
Yeah, no matter what. No matter how miserable I am or I make you, because I love you.
God damn it. Now bend over so I can beat your ass.
Right.
So that's the other one. Staying because of what others will think. So church, family, parents, yourself, like, I'm not going to be one of those losers who gets a divorce. I'm better than that. I can stick it out. I'm not going to be one of those people who says, oh, my ex-husband, my ex-wife. I'm not going to be one of those. And I remember feeling like that and then really thinking about it and going, what does that mean?
But when you were feeling that, did you feel that you were in love?
I wasn't. Well, I don't know what's the difference between being in love and love.
I haven't a clue.
All right.
Love.
I have loved, even as an example, my first husband. And just to preface this, my first husband, I define him as Charles Manson without the murder.
We were married to the same guy.
Oh, no wonder he wasn't always at home. Really? He was. Okay, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
My kids might feel differently.
Well, hopefully. But did you think that was love?
I loved him. I always loved him. But there came a day where I realized I couldn't be in the relationship anymore. I never stopped loving him. I never said, I don't love you anymore. I said, I can't be married to you anymore. And there's a difference. Because he was going down this road and he was trying to take me with him. And it's like somebody walking to the edge of a precipice, dragging you along. It's like, if you want to go that way, I can't stop you.
There's that old saying about there's a fine line between love and hate. That's what I thought of when you said that.
Yeah. And I do feel that he was very manipulative, and he always said, well, if you're not with me, nobody will want to be with you. I mean, he tried everything. He was the one that told me when I wanted to go live in Oregon, he said, well, there's no trees left in Oregon.
That's love.
Yeah. That's when I finally realized he was lying to me all these years. I was like, really? No, I don't think so. To be in a relationship because of what others think is not a good enough reason to be in a relationship.
No, even if you think that it's love. See, I think when you're younger, and I can just speak from my experience and my friends that we've talked about this, when you're younger, I think you believe that if you love this person and the person loves you, that you can overcome anything. But you don't know what the other person's real definition of love is.
That's
right?
True.
And if you don't have a lot of life experience, I don't think that we know what love is.
Or what our boundaries are.
Or what our boundaries are. And what that really means.
Yeah. And it's true when you're young, you jump into things and you go, I will do whatever it takes. And sometimes you do.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if you come to a place where you go, well, except for this,
Right, right.
no, I'm not going to do whatever it takes because that's destructive. And if a person's in a relationship and it becomes destructive, I know that's not love.
No, that's not love.
In a lot of relationships, it is about destruction.
Right, right. And for some people, if they grew up in a family where maybe daddy beat mom up or vice versa, and after it was, I love you, baby, I did it because I love you.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. If kids see that growing up, then that's how they define love.
Yeah.
So then when they become adults, the woman might get involved with someone who's abusive to her. And if it's a little boy that saw that, he might think that, oh, well, that's how you show love.
Yeah.
You know, it just all gets distorted and sad.
Unless you are able to question that and say, is that the right thing? And I know people that won't have children or chose not to have children because they came from a relationship where it was destructive, where there was alcohol or whatever, and they didn't want that. They didn't even want to chance that could happen.
Well, that's wise, I think. I
Yeah.
think that's good. Not everybody needs to have kids.
No, it's true.
Too many people are having kids.
I'm glad for all of my kids. And I have to say that even though I was with the Charles Manson, that without the murder man, I would do it all over again to have my kids. But then I would leave right away. I would not stay another, let's see, is it 10 years?
Oh my God.
Yikes.
Well, that's love.
That's stupidity. Man.
No, that's great. That leads into why our next topic, or continuing on this, we wanted to discuss, is love enough, or why is love not enough? What do you think? I mean, you just gave us a lot of really good reasons why it's not. You know, I looked up some stuff on the internet and I found this really cool site. It's called loveisrespect.org. And there, I just got some really good information. They say that love is just one part of the whole. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
So, some questions to think about, ask each other, or just discuss amongst yourselves. Do you trust each other?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel supported? Are you comfortable talking to each other about anything, including the tough stuff? You know, it's easy to talk about stuff when you're making happy plans, but when things get hard, can you both talk about it? And
is there room to talk about it? Or
what do you mean?
Some people, when the tough stuff comes up, they don't want to hear it.
Right.
And they walk away, or they say they don't have any response.
Right.
And you're left you've just put out all these feelings or thoughts or concerns, and the other person has nothing to say.
Right. Because they don't know how.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's it. They don't know how to express their feelings.
Communication.
Yeah.
We spoke about that too.
Right. But a lot of people just can't express their feelings.
It's like a man that says, or the woman says, you never tell me you love me. And he goes, you know I love you. Just to let you know, that's not okay. I told you back in 1985.
And I love you, woman. So then here's a couple more. Do you respect each other's boundaries? We've talked about that too.
Such a good one.
And do you have fun together?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people don't have fun together. No. You know, they're in it for the struggle. I think sometimes, especially my parents' generation, sometimes I think that, I used to see my parents having fun together, but I used to see other people of that age group, just like we talked about a little while ago, I'm going to stick with this.
By hook or crook, I'm going to do this.
This person's supposed to be your friend. You're
Yeah.
one of your best friends, if not your best friend, and you're supposed to have fun together.
Yeah. And are you best friends? I think that love in a relationship would be love is being best friends. It's like remember those stupid love is, I used to like them though.
Oh, they were so stupid.
They were so stupid. I liked them. They were in the newspaper for years and years, and it was always like a little cartoon of a boy and a girl, and it said love is like holding her books for her.
Oh, I don't remember those.
Some of them were cute. But I think that love is definitely being friends and going back to what it was like when you were first together. But it isn't just about the relationship of two people who
No, not at all.
it's about anybody and respect. I like the respecting boundaries, understanding and respecting that everybody's different. We all need our space, and
if you have problems, like relationship problems, which everybody does, anybody who says that they don't fight or they don't have issues with each other is a liar.
Yeah.
And love is not gonna make all that better unless you work on it. I think.
And that is if you want to work on it.
Yeah.
And that kind of, to me, the answer for me is love is not always enough to keep a relationship together.
No, because it's not going to solve all the other issues that you have.
Right. Sometimes it just is the time you've been together, you've had great times, you've had the best of times, the worst of times. And there comes a place you realize that you're going in different directions. And I think the best thing that any two people can do in a relationship when they come to that place is say, I love you enough to let go.
I agree.
And I know that it can be the best thing. And you become closer because of it.
No, I agree. I totally agree. It's time you have to know when to let go. I know.
And it's a hard place to come to.
It is. I used to have a really hard time with that. I used to just stick with it and stick with it and stick with it. And no. And then you learn that, time is short, and when it's time to move on, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't work on it.
Let us reiterate this.
Yes, that doesn't mean it's like when you get pissed off, you just walk away.
Okay, I guess it's time
It's
now.
time. I'm over it. My path is going in a different direction. There's this other website. It's called tinybuddha.com.
Oh,
And
that's
I
cute.
got this off of it. I thought it was cool. A relationship can be an invasion of privacy and independence. It's a challenge to love.
Will you read
Great.
that again?
Okay. A relationship can be an invasion of privacy and independence. It's a challenge to love. It's very challenging to love, especially if you're not into sharing.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of women in this town, I know a lot, including myself, who have not been in a relationship for a long time. Some of them are very adamant. They never want to be in another relationship. They never want to live with another person. They love their independence, and they are very strong women. I look at myself and I go, well, do I want that invasion of my privacy? And that's where it comes down again to letting somebody know what you need, just like they have to let you know what they need. It's not a one-way street.
And respecting that. Like, I really respect people that say, it'd be nice to be with someone, but I really like my life. I really like my independence. That's great to know
can
yourself.
live down the street from each other.
Yeah.
That's more fun.
Yeah.
They could come over in the middle of the night and wake you up in the middle of the night.
And scare the shit out of you. that would be horrible.
All right. Well, maybe not.
So another site that you could go on the internet and just type this question in, why is love not enough? And just read for days. It seems to be a very popular topic. It was interesting. So this one was, when love is not enough, 4 tips for a strong relationship. And this kind of is repeating the first ones I read, but number 1 is communication. Number 2 is appreciation. Number 3, quality time as a couple. That goes back to having fun. And number 4 is, I love this. I read this book a long time ago. I've been trying to think what it was called when I read this. Showing love as the other person wants to receive it. Do you remember? I can't remember the book, but it discussed how, I think they had 4 or 5 different ways that people like to show and receive love.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I might like to be touched, or some people need verbal appreciation, like, oh, you look great, I love you, you're so sweet, that kind of thing. Other people need you to do things for them, like take out the garbage, cook me dinner,
every day.
Let's plan this every day. Stuff like that. What was the other one?
I can't remember.
There's like 4 or 5. Anyway, so that's what they're talking about here, is figure out how that person wants to be loved and show
that
it that way.
It can evolve. I have a friend who met her boyfriend through a dating site, through Our Time. And they've been together now a year and a half. And he came from a relationship that was not good, and she was abusive. And so now he's a scared puppy.
Right.
And of course, he's nervous because she wants to get married. This is the guy she wants to marry. And he's like, I'm not ready to get married. And I said to her, over time, he's only known you for a year and a half.
That is not long at all.
And it takes humans to reset their little record player going on in their brain. It takes time. You have to be consistent in how you treat that person, and that you're not going to go down the path of yelling or being angry, that you're gonna talk, that you're gonna discuss things that you need to talk about in a way that's humane and respectful, instead of going to accusing and being cruel
Anger.
and using words in the wrong way. And that's so important, to be able to actually, and this is one thing I think is love, is how do you talk to somebody when you're angry at them? How do you put across to them what it is you're feeling in a way that's not necessarily accusing? Because let's face it, if somebody accuses you, that's like throwing you into a corner.
Oh yeah, and I would shut down immediately.
You're really good at that. I've seen you in action.
Oh, watch out.
Well, you're very kind, and you
hear that out there, everybody? Especially my partner.
Do you agree?
I think one thing too that is important, and I learned this a long time ago, is saying I feel.
Yeah.
Instead of you did this.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I feel. So
it makes me feel, it doesn't mean that that's what you were doing, but it brought these things up in me, whether that was your intention, but it brought this up. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it. You're right. You're right. And also, different people, like if they've known each other a year and a half, I don't know how involved or how much they see each other, but different people react to different tones of voice differently. Like I came from a home where everybody yelled all the time. When they were happy, they yelled. When they were mad, they yelled. When they were just talking normal, they yelled. So if anybody would have walked into that, they would have thought, oh my God, these people are mad all the time. We're not.
Yeah.
So I do a little bit of that myself. I try not to, but that's
It's
how
a default.
Yeah, it is. So luckily my partner doesn't. I don't yell that. I don't. But if I did, I don't know. I don't yell like that anymore. But what I'm saying is, if that's part of her, say, personality, and he comes from a place that's really quiet and meek, and maybe people were passive aggressive and didn't discuss stuff, or they're really quiet talkers,
Yeah.
just because they are, then he would be put off
Yeah.
by her.
Yeah, and she's not. She's very
Right, but I'm just saying, you know,
It depends.
people come from different places, and what their idea of someone being angry or aggressive, that all comes, I think, sometimes with time, because in the beginning of a relationship, we're all on our best behavior.
right.
And a year and a half is not long, unless you're 80 years old and you need to get married quick or something, right? I mean, really.
For the child's sake.
For the child's sake, yeah.
Yes, I agree. And actually brought up a lot of different great points on love.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, love is, there's no real definition for love. It's
No.
boundaryless.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying.
There are no boundaries.
Oh, okay, thank you.
There should be more love. The more love we have, the less room there is for hate, right?
Yeah. Let's work on that. More love. Hey, I have a great idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I think it's a great idea. Get your phone book out and randomly open it up to a page and close your eyes and put your finger on all right, just wait.
I'm waiting.
And whoever you land on, do this after you write the letter. So I think it's a good idea. I've been wanting to do it. You write a letter.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, call them and ask them what they're wearing.
No, just call them and say, I love you. Okay, so first, before you do that, you write a letter, and it's positive, and it's done with love, and it's sending out something good to somebody. You write a letter with the intention of saying, I know you don't know me, but I wrote a letter, and I wanted to let you know that even though I don't know you,
I'm a freak. Go on. I'm sorry.
that you say something positive and something hopeful. And then you open up the phone book and you tap it on whoever and you send it to them. And you never know
When the FBI is going to show up at your door.
no, that maybe it'll go to somebody who really needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Maybe it will change the direction of somebody's life. Maybe, well, I could go into a whole
I think we're having an Oprah moment.
We're having a Karen and Chris moment. Well, anyhow,
No, I think there's nothing wrong with showing love.
write a letter day. That's love.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think we've come to we never told everybody that we have an email.
That's right. Tell them, Karen.
It's Dirty Laundry, Chris and Karen at gmail.com. And Chris, tell us about the...
We also have a Facebook page.
what is that?
It's the same. It's Dirty Laundry with Chris and Karen. Also, you can comment below.
Yes, you can, even though you don't.
Yeah, and if you did, we'd probably pass out. But feel free.
We won't die reading your
Yes.
your comments.
And we'd love suggestions for future shows.
Yes.
And please share this with everyone.
That really helps if you share it, because then it gets out to more people, and we really want to extend our claws out.
We're having fun, and we want to have fun with you, and we really want to know what you think.
Yes.
So
Thank you for listening, and
we'll see you soon. Adios.
good afternoon.